After you eat it, it should give you energy, not suck the energy out of you. You should thrive. Yeah, food should feel good for you. The word restaurant, from restore. It's the team here, and of course our purveyors, the farmers. Like, food is made by people, for people. We are here for you.
Hi, I'm Lee, founder and chief enthusiast at Healthy Anywhere, and today we're on site at Pomella in the beautiful neighborhood of Piedmont in Oakland, California. Now, Pomella is a modern California Israeli restaurant. It's helmed by Chef Mica Talmor. She's agreed to sit down and give us an exclusive interview, so let's check it out. So I just wanted to say thank you for all this beautiful food that you're bringing to the community. And it's such a treat to finally, I think it was like 3 years ago, we were corresponding.
Yeah. It's shocking how fast time goes by.
Right. And I do remember you generously offered, you were like, come over and hang out, we'll like party and stuff. And I had been having some autoimmune stuff at the time, and it was like 2021. And so we were like, people, it's gotten better.
Yeah, I think that still many people who have specific conditions and compromised immune systems are now not only because of COVID, but now are generally more aware of just diseases and air. And like, I will never fly without a mask again.
Ever.
And I can't believe that I did before.
Right?
Your consciousness has shifted.
I used to travel every week for work, which is actually why I started the Healthy Anywhere app, because I was always searching for healthy, sustainable, delicious options. And every time I got home, I got sick. Like every week, for years. And now it's like, I had a little kink in my immune system, and it took the pandemic happening to figure that out. But anyways, this is not about me.
Yeah, but that is fascinating.
Right?
And it is something about change of consciousness.
Yeah.
Because you could have gone on forever and not realized that you should have done something different, or like something simple like wearing a mask or sanitizing your hands or your surface before.
It's so simple.
It's so simple.
And it's like, we've literally could just not get sick.
I can also tell you, like, so many times, so we don't take cash here anymore, not because of that, but for different reasons. But so many times I've seen people go to specifically to a restaurant, right? And they use cash to pay, and then they're going to eat, and then they're using their hands to eat. And I'm like, there's nothing. Cash is pretty dirty. And people just not wash their hands. They're just paying with cash and giving them change.
Yeah, and we're not going to get started on like the bathroom handles and stuff.
No, we're not. We're not going to go there. But it's like, no, things like that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I was there with you.
And I'm not a germaphobe, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not at all. I live with a dog.
Well, this is a good segue into the first question that I usually ask everyone, which is, what does healthy mean to you?
Many things. Let's start with that. I consider myself a very healthy person because, I'm hardly ever sick. I feel very vibrant. I can do the things that I want to do. I guess the most important thing is whether or not you are physically able to do the things that you want to do. I'm not so young anymore, so of course some things, are harder, but most of the time I enjoy a very happy, active life, and that's healthy for me.
That's beautiful. I love that. And I say you're like, have such a youthful spirit. It's beautiful, like glowing. So.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice.
Very young at heart.
Okay, I'll take that because not very young anymore. My birthday celebration is always Thanksgiving. So we do meals for the public that people can order and pick up the day before Thanksgiving. And then on Thanksgiving, we're closed and we have a big family Thanksgiving. And we do a paella. Because it's like one of those dishes that is very celebratory. You make a one big thing, you make a one big thing and there's something in it for everyone. And yeah. I mean, of course, there are sides and desserts and yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I know you have lots of good sides.
Yes, we're big on sides, yes.
Big on sides. And so how would you describe the cuisine at Pomella?
So our cuisine is very California in the way that we use a lot of produce, very produce forward, and we use a lot of stuff that's locally grown, and we use small vendors and such. So in that respect, it's very California. But on the other hand, it draws from an ancient tradition. So our food draws from the Middle East, North Africa, or I like to say the Levant and the Maghreb, because it's more inclusive. The world is sliced up with wars and conflict, but there is a general region. And then we have some Mediterranean and some stuff that's Eastern European. And that comes from the Israeli side. Israel is a nation of immigrants, and kind of like the U.S., but it's a lot smaller, and so everything is very intense. Also, Israelis are very innovative, and they'll use anything and everything. So I'm not looking to make a dish as it's always been made. I'm looking to make a dish the best that it can be. Ooh. And so that's what makes me, as a chef, it's a sensibility that I would say exists in the Israeli chefs and cooks. So that combination of the two.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, that's powerful. And I know that standards are really important to you. So here you've got like all the produce is always organic, grass-fed meats, sustainably caught fish, organic chicken.
Yes.
Right? So why are these standards important to you?
First, they should be important for everyone. But for me personally, so a big part of my family are farmers back in Israel. My grandma is no longer with us, but she lived on a dairy farm in Israel. So I spent a lot of my childhood and youth and even early 20s farming. Whether it's milking cows or grabbing, getting eggs in the giant chicken coop, or working onion, tomato. I used to, on the holidays from school, I used to go and work in the north of Israel harvesting grapes or mangoes. So I've done a lot of agriculture myself, and I think that it is very hard work. I also think that there's no guarantees because there's so many things that affect agriculture. So the idea that people would be working so hard to feed us and then we spray them with chemicals is shocking to me. If in warfare, for example, someone sprays population with chemicals, I mean, that is a war crime.
Right.
But we do it here in our fields just to lower the price of groceries, and that's shocking to me. It's just shocking to me that it's even that's somehow okay. I just don't understand.
Did you see there was a recent report that like one of the California commissions put out, but the communities around Watsonville and Salinas, like they're finding the pesticides concentrated in the air in the communities. And so when you think about the impact of this, it's like, and it's not just like the farm workers. So imagine if you had been working.
They live there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's planes flying over our own territory with chemicals and spraying it. How is that not? How are people okay with that?
Yeah.
Right here in the United States. I mean, it happens in other countries as well, but right here, we're allowing that to happen in our country. We're allowing planes. I'm just going to say that again. We're allowing planes to fly over our own population and spray chemicals.
It is really, it's like, who's thinking about this? And so we did this whole California trip like about a month and a half ago, and we were coming back and literally got crop dusted, Wow. We were coming up from the Central Coast, and it was a plane, and it was just dumping chemicals.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, what do you do? Well, we turned our, at least we were in a car and we could turn the vents off, like roll up the windows. But if you live there,
you live there.
What are you gonna do?
Your kids live there.
Yeah.
They go to school there. Like everyday people. Everyday people live there. And of course, there's another part of it, which is, okay, let's say you don't care about those people. Okay. I don't know what to say about that, but let's move on from that point.
Okay.
What about the water? What about the ground? What do you think it's not going to touch you? Do you think it's not going to get to you? Do you think you're insulated somehow? You're not. Earth is one. It is one. So how do you think this is not going to catch up with you?
So true.
So even if you don't care about others, and even if you don't care about farm workers, which again, I don't even want to go there. What about you, yourself? It's not only once you ingest, it's your air quality, it's your water quality, it's the way things seep into earth and then cycle, because it's one system. So whatever is in the system is going to get to everyone in the system. And then when it comes to animals, I do eat animal protein, and I think humans have eaten animal protein for a long time. The question is, are we responsible for those animals? And I think we are responsible for those animals. I think that it's called husbandry you must have heard that. It's our duty to take care of these animals because they are taking care of us. So if we're gonna raise animals in order to feed ourselves, which I don't think people are going to stop doing, and people have always done, then we should look at how do we do that in a way that respects the animal and respects Earth. And at the end of the day, respect us as human, because those massive farms with sub-conditions, that's deteriorating us too.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we let that happen, that's not right for us either. So,
going back, I actually wrote, when I was doing holistic nutrition school back in 2019, I wrote an article like the not so happy cow, it lived in the factory farm. The thing with those is you get the manure lagoons. I don't want to talk too loud if people are eating, talking about manure. But, that actually goes into the air too. So that becomes a public health crisis.
And methane as well from cows.
Oh, yeah.
So, it is one. So, if we didn't understand this in the past, which we didn't, science has evolved to explain our environment to us. So whatever we didn't understand in the past, I'm not here to judge what happened before. But now that we know all these things, I think we should move forward into finding solutions and finding a better way to feed our population. Here at Pomella, for example, most of our food is plant-based. And then like one of the salads that I ordered for us for later is a salad, but then we put a piece of fish on it. So beautiful. You get all, you eat all your colors. And yes, here's animal protein. I can tell you how this fish was raised. And then so we do use animal proteins here, but it is in addition to a really hefty plant-based diet. And it's not the main event. I personally do eat animal protein because it's very hard for me to digest vegetation protein because I have a really hard time, with legumes. So, for me, it does not work. For other people, if it works, that's great. Whatever works for you. I'm not saying stop eating meat. I'm saying take a look at it. Meat should be expensive. You need to eat a little bit of it. I understand. But it should be expensive, and that money should be spent into making sure that we are, again, to that whole husbandry idea of taking care of the animals who are taking care of us.
I love that. Thank you. And thank you for raising the bar on the standard. So it's like, this is your way of taking a stance and saying, hey, we're going to set a new standard. And
I do want to say something about that. That is a decision that you have to make once because it's a decision that is going to be very hard to uphold. So this is where I count on my vendors. So when it comes to produce, I only work with an organic produce vendors. When it comes to, I set the intention when we started. So I don't see the other prices. I don't see the other option.
It's like they say the one decision that cancels a million other decisions. You're just like, this is made, and wow, how simple.
Yeah, the decision has been made. This is what we work with. This is where we are. This is what we sell. We made that decision when we started, and that's it. I don't have to make this decision daily.
Yeah.
It's been made.
Nice.
So I guess, and I usually ask, well, has it been challenging to uphold your standards? And maybe the answer is no, because it's like, this is the way it is, and that's
I set up a system that holds me in check. So I set up the system to not allow me to back away from this decision, no matter what the financial situation is. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So talk to me about how. So I imagine, especially in recent years, it's probably gotten a little tight because everybody's feeling the squeeze. Has that impacted your business as well?
Yeah, of course. We've seen raising costs. At least now we have some things we have greater availability. So at the beginning, it was, remember COVID, it was so hard to get packaging and sustainable packaging and biodegradable stuff. It was so hard. And I was like spending so much time looking for stuff online and trying to get things. Now, at least that is more available. So that's great. However, the changing weather patterns have like really affected us. I think for us, like the most current one is tomatoes. So last year we had an amazing tomato season. We get dry farmed early girl tomatoes from sea level. And last year we had such a great season. We even had enough to dry and to can. It was great. And then this year was nothing. It ended pretty much as it started because there was fog and rain, so there was mold, and a lot of the plants died because dry farming, you kind of starve the plant. So the plant is already stressed, which makes the plant get you this really great fruit, but at the same time, very susceptible to disease. So then we had this fog and rain out of season, remember?
Yes.
And so then so much of the crop was lost. And then if that's not enough, the heat waves came in.
Yep.
And just destroyed the rest of the crop. This year we also had a really bad stone fruit year. Again, the same kind of thing. The fruit didn't ripe, and then heat wave and just fell off the trees.
Done.
And got moldy, and mealy, and Right now, we're still processing pomegranates. So one of our vendors, he just came here maybe with 400 or 500 pounds of pomegranates. He's like, can you do anything with these pomegranates? My friend's a farmer. I had to harvest them because of the heat wave. Has to get rid of whatever you can do with this pomegranate. Earlier in around, I think it was around August or July, the same thing where it's like, can you take 100 cases of blackberries? What did I do with 100 cases of blackberries?
Pie? I don't know. What'd you do with it?
I mean, I contacted all the chefs I know and try to offload and try to get any sort of money for nothing, like anything over nothing for this farm. We made jam, we froze a lot, and so we kept using it. I have 2 deep freezers that I freeze fruit in. I mean, so we see the disruptions all the time. All of a sudden, a case of lettuce is $120. What? It's $120. Do you want lettuce or not want lettuce? Well, what are the alternatives? What are we going to do? It's so weather related.
Interesting.
And I feel like, at least I'm not a farmer.
Well, that's great. You guys are supporting. I mean, you're clearly a champion, as much as you can be for
we're
them.
trying, but we're small. We're a small place, so I wish we were bigger so we can try to move more stuff and help farmers more when we get that distress call. Just drop it.
Get on in here.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite soups, so I wanted you to have it. It's vegan. It's kind of like a little Persian. This is our eggplant majadra. This is our salad with salmon. Beautiful. We're eating all the colors. Beet salad. Almost. This is a special that we have right now. It's coconut squash. Coconut squash is a hybrid of kabocha and butternut. It's really good squash. And this is our cheese falafel. I don't know if you've ever had it, but it's kind of like gonna go on my There's cheese in the falafel. Yeah, and that's like my thing.
I think it's gonna go on your too.
I think so.
Nice.
I think
Taking the falafel to the grave.
Maybe something else will come up between now and my last day.
Oh, yeah,
but
you got decades. You got decades.
But,
Come on, Mica.
for now, definitely, it's my shiny star. And this is our pita, which we make with organic flours as well. We use both bread and whole wheat flours. So everything you see here is organic. Even there's rice and lentils here, which are also, I mean, everything.
Beautiful.
And then, there's honey in this dressing, which
Okay.
also is a local honey.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And then you make your own hummus?
Yeah, we make our hummus.
Of course.
Yes. Definitely, we're very picky about it.
Okay, yeah, and so I mean, you don't have to divulge any secret recipes or anything, but are you using like a tahini and an olive oil?
We don't put olive oil in the actual hummus, only tahini.
Okay.
The tahini that we get right now, that is from Lebanon. Usually we get tahini from Israel, from Nazareth, Alars, but this is another disruptive thing. So during COVID, the FDA raised a certain amount of sampling that you have to do and testing that you have to do for things that come from out of the country, but they didn't add any agents to do the testing. So now it's so hard to release anything that comes from out of the country.
Oh, man.
Yeah, oh man, yeah, I know. Of course, you must have heard on the news back in the day that there were issues with the ports and issues well, that all affects us because if you're bringing tahini from the Middle East, then you can't release. You have the shipments and they're just in there and you can't release them. I'm not the importer; I buy it from the importer. But like these are issues that are constantly plaguing our industry as well. Just moving stuff around the world. Most of the stuff that we use is local,
Right.
But not all of it. I cannot get tahini of this quality. I'm sorry.
Okay. I like to make tahini, just using sesame seeds and stuff at home, but that's pretty labor intensive, like toasting it and then processing it.
Oh yeah. It's not something that we can sustainably do here.
Not very practical.
No, not the amount that we use. But definitely our hummus has a really good quality tahini, and then we use ice in the process, which really helps the texture. So if you make hummus at home, instead of water, use ice water.
That was a Ottolenghi thing, yeah?
Well, let me say something about Ottolenghi because I do love Ottolenghi. I just want to say that.
Okay.
But a lot of what he's saying, especially in that book, Jerusalem, is collecting what exists, not inventing something new. He invents a lot of new things. He invents a lot of new things that I think is brilliant, and I love his sensibilities. But you have to understand that some of this food
This is the way it's been, right? So it's
for longer than
sharing.
me and him and all of the above.
That's how like the shiksas like me learn.
I love him, and a lot of his books past that book are very inventive,
Yes.
and he has this great test kitchen, and he does great stuff. I absolutely adore him. But people often look at our dishes and they're saying, "Oh, it's from that Jerusalem book," and I'm like, "No, you're getting it backwards."
Right.
I love that book, but it
Yes.
documents a certain time and place. It documents a certain food and in a certain area.
I'm sure you have like crazy stories from the fields and working the farm.
Oh, a lot. Also my grandma used to make cheese and we used to cure olives. So right now we have olives here that I got from my sister. So my sister lives in Southern California, and last December we harvested her olive trees and then we cured them and we have them here. My grandpa used to say, "Eat slow. Grandma's been working all day to make this food." And I really like the old methods. Of course, we modernize them. I always look to make things more efficient and modern, but I love reading ancient books and stuff and just see how things were done and the idea of how long it used to make a meal and the effort that was put into it, which today everyone wants everything.
But you were saying about the slow versus
Yeah, so one of my things is so everything here is made from scratch and we soak everything and we change water and all that kind of stuff. I look at the old ways of doing things. I introduce efficiency and modern equipment, but I do like the idea of how things were done. We don't use processed anything. Like nothing is pre-processed. Except for the tahini, right? But nothing is pre-processed before it gets here. So I do like that way of being, that way of cooking, that way of starting from the ingredient. And also the seasonality of things. When we were kids, if it was eggplant season, there was like 5 or 6 eggplant dishes on the table because it was eggplant dishes, right? When you have something, it's just like, how do we use it? How do we use it?
Yeah.
And also, I personally really like cows. We don't serve beef here. Not that I never eat beef, but I think it's a really big animal and it's hard to raise it sustainably, and it's a nice animal. Like I like cows. I used to milk cows. So I don't roll with cheap beef.
Oh, yeah, no way.
No way.
No way. We don't either. Absolutely not.
No. Beef needs to be expensive. It's a really, really big, compared to like, let's say lamb or goat, where it's an animal that's smaller, has a shorter life to maturity for butchery, and it can eat grass, So
lawnmowers.
yeah, so that I see that differently in terms of how expensive or not it should be, or how often or not we should eat it.
Yep. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, I feel like we should dig in a little bit here.
I gave one to the wasp, but you can have it back.
I definitely want to try like the soup and stuff. Look at those beautiful colors. Oh my goodness.
And this, you can kind of open one and you can see it.
Oh, the cheese. All right, yeah, can't do that. It would be rude not to reveal.
To reveal.
Oh, look at that.
It's amazing. And this is our tahini sauce. We use dairy, but for a lot of these, there's non-dairy options. So there's falafel without cheese in it. And the eggplant over there has a yogurt tahini. I mean,
No, I'm kidding.
But and there's yogurt tahini sauce on the eggplant, but that could be tahini and not yogurt tahini.
yeah.
This could be an amazing vegan dish over there. Rice and lentils, they give you a full protein. So the mujadra is a very ancient dish. Jadra, mujadra, however, there's like a million pronunciations depending where you are in the area. That's called Levant. But it's rice and lentils cooked together, and jadra is like a lentil. And with like spices, not spicy, but spices. And it's all over. It's all over the area, different names, sometimes different ratios, but it's all over the area, and it's a full protein. So it's just a natural way.
So healthy.
Yeah, it's so healthy. It's so good for you. Yeah. And it's a dish where if you don't have meat, hummus and pita, which is or any sort of flatbread, it's also all over the Levant, and that's also a full protein. Because they complement each other in terms of the amino acids. So these ancient foods, when you look at them, they make so much sense.
Yes.
Even people didn't know the science. People didn't understand the science. They didn't know what amino acids are. These dishes are older than all of that science, but it's that natural knowing that this is good for your body, feeling, no, if you eat this, this will sustain you. It's just wonderful how these dishes survived. And, we still eat them today. I mean, they make more sense today. It's just amazing to me how people
They
figure
didn't
this
even
out.
know,
How did they figure it
right?
out?
Like,
I know.
who developed the first pita?
Yeah, this is another thing about health or healthy food. Healthy food is the food that feels good in your body. It's your body, so you know what healthy food is good for you. Everyone is different.
Very individualized. Yeah.
But
Very
food,
personal.
food should feel good in the body.
Yep.
After you eat it should give you energy, not suck the energy out of you. You should thrive.
You're like, I'm gonna take a nap on the couch now.
Like,
no.
I'm gonna be catatonic for 2 days. Yeah, food should nourish you. Should be good in the body. It should feel good for you. The word restaurant, from restore. It should restore you.
Okay, I never had made that connection.
Thank you.
Still learning every day, every minute. So we were actually at the pickle shop, the cultured pickle shop in Berkeley yesterday, doing a segment. And, I was just like, who was the first person that thought of fermenting?
It's ancient.
No? Like,
It's
I don't even think
ancient.
we know.
We don't, because even things like beer is ancient, wine is ancient, garum, which is fish sauce for the Romans, fish sauce, of course. Chinese were more of a closed society, but now we know more about, their ancient history of fermentation. Every culture in the world has something that has to do with fermentation, and it is like ancient, like not like 100 years, right? Like really ancient, like thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Yeah, there's documentation of stuff all over the planet. And the thing is, things naturally ferment.
Yes.
The fact that someone just ate it because they had nothing else to eat and it fermented.
Well, that feels good.
That just could be accidental.
Right.
It could be that just like, it's a way to preserve things. It's when you don't have refrigeration. How do you keep things? How do you make things last? When the water is not clean, when you look at the Roman Empire and the water is not clean, wine was drank instead of water because it was actually more likely to not kill you.
Details.
Because fermented grapes did not have the sort of bacteria that sometimes lived in the drinking water before. People used the rivers for everything. So how clean were they?
Yikes. Wow, we are so fortunate. Like there's so much we take for granted.
It's ridiculous.
I'm like, every day, I think I said this morning, every day is such a gift. Every day is such a gift. It's like, wait a minute. Actually take a step back and think where we are in time, like on this planet. And wow, really is.
I think also, like my generation, we are incredibly fortunate because we are on Earth when life is quite convenient. And we have a lot of, we have clean water, relatively clean air, all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, we can still enjoy nature, where generations from now might not have that same luxury. and generations before us certainly didn't. So we do get to conveniently travel and see the beauty of Earth more frequently than generations before us.
Yep.
And, I think that we are definitely seeing environmental damage, so it's not going to be as great.
Yeah. Touche.
I think we're very,
Oh,
very,
gosh.
very, very
This
fortunate.
is like the last golden age.
We are the
Oh,
golden
dear.
age.
I hope not. I hope.
I hope we can
Yeah.
reverse it.
Yeah.
I think that the next
There is-
generations are super, super, super smart.
Yes. Yes, they
Yeah.
are. So
They might work it out.
next generations make it happen. There are some key things like we want to generate awareness about like what are the key challenges you are up against now?
So we talked a little bit about, the weather, and some of it is just people perception. So I think sometimes people see us as a healthy place, that the food here is healthy, and that actually...
There's a stigma on health. Don't say it. Don't tell
I'm
me.
really trying to find the words.
Oh my
But they think their kids are not going to want to eat here. Or they think that their kids are not going to like the food, or they don't want to struggle with their kids. They're going out to dinner and they don't want to struggle with the kids. And I'll try to force the kids to eat a salad because they're going out and they don't want to have, frictions. I don't eat this food because it's healthy. I eat it because it's delicious.
It is. Yes. Yes.
That idea
Yeah.
is not commonplace yet. That idea, I think too many of our customer base right now, or the people who are in charge of our, millennials, okay, I can keep going around it, but they were forced to eat like granola and broccoli as children. And so that kind of skewed the perception to I have to eat vegetables, not I want to eat vegetables.
I get to eat these beautiful vegetables.
That's something
Come
that we struggle with. That's something that we really struggle. And then they don't want to do it to their children. Like my parents forced me to eat broccoli. I'm not going to do that to my kids. This is a struggle. We actually added after 4 years of being here, I actually added a couple of kids' dishes. I just gave up, and I added because I don't believe in kids' food. Kids are people that just eat food. Why do you need kids' food? Just have food. Kids eat.
Yeah.
And not only that, the whole concept of kids' food, if you look back and you Google that and you look at the history of kids' food, that was done by big chain and big food in order to get extra money out of parents. So, because before there was kids' food, which is a very modern concept, the parents will order food and they just give some to the kids, right?
Yeah.
But then chain restaurants realized that if you package something for kids, then you get that extra sale. And the Happy Meal and all that, there's a history there.
Oh yeah. That's
So-
all. That's just.
Yes,
all
that's
this.
just it's an extra
Yeah.
sale, and it's getting
Wow.
kids to. So if McDonald's, for example, I said McDonald's, if they sell the kid the Happy Meal with the toy and all that, now this kid is going to be a customer for. The rest of their lives. So you need to understand who's playing you to think that there's a thing that's even considered kids' food. There's nothing. It doesn't. It's a myth. Kids can eat anything.
It's an evil ploy
It's
to
an
get you
evil ploy.
hooked
It's
on
definitely-
bad food.
It's an evil ploy. But people and now people are like, and I understand because once your kid has something that's so bland, or it's easier for that, you go out to dinner, you're not gonna have this struggle with your kid right now. You're already struggling at home. You just don't want to go to a restaurant and have a struggle with your child. You just don't. I get that. You've been working. You're tired. You just want to go and have a nice time with the family. You are not here for a fight. So finally, after 4 years, I gave up and I added a couple things to the menu.
Okay. Well, I'm taking a note. We'll update the app and make sure because we have healthy kids.
Yeah, of course, it's all made
but
from
it's like,
organic stuff and all that. It's still under our guidelines. So relatively speaking, it's better kids' food. And the staff here laughs at me because I had to really give up to do it. So the staff here makes fun of me, and I'm like, because they're like, but this is really good. I'm like, yeah, it's really good. I had to swallow a frog for this.
Wow. Okay, you're really blowing my mind about the stigma around healthy because
Yes,
so my
I'm
dad
sure you deal with that all the time.
I'm from Alabama originally and my dad is always like, "Oh, it's just all this rabbit food." And I'm like, "No. Like the whole mission with Healthy Anywhere is like
healthy, sustainable, delicious,
Yeah.
and these things that are like
We
better
actually start
for
with
the
delicious. So we start with delicious. First of all, this is delicious. And by the way, it's also good for you and it's good for the environment as a whole. So we start with delicious. I'm like, this food is good. It doesn't, yes, it
just
also healthy.
happens to be healthy.
Yes.
Happens to be healthy. So what is one thing you wish more people knew about your business or about the industry?
One thing that I wish more people knew is that that everything is organic here and all. Because I still get customers here that are surprised by, they're like, really, somehow we haven't managed to convey that enough. I think that we have done a good job, and I continue to do it, to really personalize food workers. We are people. The people in this house are people. I think sometimes people forget that they are humans here making your food. We are humans, and we are feeding you. So
And I know because we're part of your email list, and you often talk about, individuals that are working here and celebrating birthdays on social media. And so if you haven't subscribed to their email updates or social media, like, it's a really cool way that you're taking people behind the scenes and like seeing the faces and getting to know the people on the team here. So that's really cool.
it's the team here, and of course our purveyors, our vendors, the farmers. Like, food is made by people for people. We are here for you. Like, this is the service industry. Everyone that works here is here for you. Sometimes people, when our staff tries to explain the food or ask them, would you like this with this or this with that? Sometimes people think that we're just trying to upsell them. And the thing is, sure, we would like to sell more food. Absolutely. This is how we pay our bills. Please buy our food. I'm not even remotely embarrassed about that. Please buy my food. Yes. But at the same time, we're actually trying to help you. We are trying to make sure that you have a good meal and that you enjoy yourself. It's key for us. We're service-oriented people. We're here for you. We actually are trying.
Yeah, and you know what the good stuff is. Well, everything is good, but like what to eat with this, and like if you're getting this, you've got to get that.
That's exactly it. Yes. Like, for example, the eggplant I love with the majadra, but like the salmon I prefer with saffron rice. So like, if you tell me kind of like where you're going with this, I might, offer you this one rather than that one, that kind of stuff. If you're ordering hummus, I'm gonna ask you if you want pita or vegetable sticks, because how you're gonna eat it. There's like little things like that we know then that you're gonna go and you're not gonna enjoy yourself as much.
That's awesome. Okay, one last question. So when you're not eating at Pomella or your family food, what are some of your favorite places, I would even say in the world, to eat at?
I do love eating in Israel. When I go visit, I just eat my way through the country.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to like get
It's
the
such
list.
a good place to
yeah.
eat. And then I love Vietnamese food. I love Vietnamese food, traditional, and also there's one modern Vietnamese restaurant that I like in particular, Lily in San Francisco. Have you gone there?
Oh, no. Okay, so we're okay.
Because
We'll check them out.
yeah.
Okay, great.
It's one of my favorites. But yeah, I love the things that I did not grow up with.
Okay, your upbringing is just like so amazing to me. I had like canned, canned green beans. Like, I didn't even know what a fresh vegetable was really until I kind of moved out to California 20 years ago, but it's amazing. So, but anyways, Mica, you have been wonderful. Like, it's been such a treat chatting with you.
Great conversation.
Want to honor your time.
Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you pushing this subject with people and trying to, educate. That's what you're doing. You're educating. So I really appreciate you for that.
Thank you. That means a lot coming from you. All right. Well, thank you guys. Stay healthy and don't forget to come visit Pomella Oakland. Bye-bye.